welcome to Miami. The Miami FC ready to open up a exciting 2021 campaign with championship expectations from FIU Stadium as they prepare to welcome Loudoun United, the affiliate of DC United, to South Florida. Tonight's match is brought to you by Helbiz and joined by Eric Dobransky, Mike Watts on hand. Miami has made a ton of additions, which should make them more prepared for a longer 2021 season format. 32 games over 28 weeks. Eric, it means the cream will have time to rise to the top.
And you have two teams in Loudoun and Miami that want to get off to a proper start tonight, with Tampa Bay really getting a solid win against Charlotte last night, and then Hartford getting a good win against Red Bulls too.
Let's take a look at the standings in the Atlantic Division, one of 4 divisions this season. Top 4 in each division will find their way into the postseason. And as mentioned, Hartford with a new coach and Tampa Bay, the reigning Eastern Conference champion, lead the way.
And I think going back to it, first impressions matter. And I think for Miami FC and this Loudoun team, they're going to want to show this Atlantic Division that they're here to compete.
If you're going to compete, Speedy Williams is the kind of guy you bring in to patrol your midfield.
What an addition for Miami FC. The Jamaican international Speedy Williams is coming off a career 2020 season that landed him on the championship all-league first team. His ability to connect various areas of the field is valuable for a Miami side that looks to be very attack-oriented here in 2021.
3-time all-league player, including, as mentioned, a career year last year. That was the goal that christened the Lynn Family Stadium. Kairu Mustafa is the leading scorer coming into the lineup here for Loudoun tonight based on 2020 results.
And Coach Ryan Martin's going to be looking for Mustafa to build on a 2020 campaign that saw him score 3 times in just 9 appearances, and for a team that was last in scoring in the league in 2020 with 10 overall goals.
For the Niger Youth National Team, has played in a Youth World Cup, played in the first division there. So Mustafa will lead the line for Loudoun. We'll show you the full lineups when we return, including wholesale changes for Miami. Miami, Loudoun, when we return.
Miami FC is a club that has a tradition of winning. So for Saturday, it's a start of a new journey. It's time to win. It's time to get this club back in winning ways and get this club back on the right track.
First game of the season, it's just like the championship game for us. We're going to go out there, we're going to give it our best and accept nothing else but 100% effort.
The nerves are starting to ramp up a little bit. We're getting butterflies in the stomach. Really just excited to go play on our home turf again and to represent Miami, Miami FC, the organization as well.
One thing I know is that we have a great group of players, very experienced players who have the mentality where they want to win. They want to win every game. If they don't win every game, something's wrong.
Everyone's bought in, everyone's focused, everyone's locked in. I think we have a group of guys who've gelled well together and are ready to work, and we all share the same mentality and same passion for winning. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think every single guy in this locker room is on the same page about one thing, and that's winning.
This is a football city. From the grassroots to the turf. From the streets to the cleats. We are proud to represent this city. We are proud to represent Miami. We are proud to represent you. Your community, your club.
Tonight's match is presented by Helbiz. Referees making their way onto the field. Teams not far behind in Miami. Miami FC and Loudoun United matching up in this Atlantic Division fixture. It's the opening match for both sides. With Eric, Mike, Let's take a look at the lineups as these sides prepare to do battle for the first time. Here's the initial 11 for Miami FC. Lineup brought to you by Hellbiz. There are only 3 players in this order who were here a year ago.
And with key acquisitions, this team looks to be solid on both sides of the ball. Paco Craig and Del Campo will solidify their back line. And as we spoke about in the open, Speedy Williams will play connector. He led the league last year in distribution with over 11,000 completed passes.
Meanwhile, for Loudoun United, again, a lot of change and a very young team for Ryan Martin.
And as we highlighted in the open, Al-Mustafa will be the focal point of this Loudoun offense, but look for Garay and Downs to be impactful on both sides of the ball, and their ability to defend and attack in transitional moments will give Loudoun a number of opportunities to find success.
Farron and Sergei both impressive in the Big East. Syracuse and Xavier in years past. Here's a look at the Atlantic Rehabilitation Center injury report. Miami not saying there are any injuries right now, and speaking with Paul Dalglish, said this preseason certainly had its pauses due to COVID. They planned for that, and at this point they feel they're ready to begin the 2021 season.
And I think it's going to be important tonight to manage those expectations because they've built a roster that they know can compete in this Atlantic division, but you got to open it up game at a time and really have a solid performance starting tonight.
Well, we've waited a long time for this. Miami FC's second season in the USL Championship and the first of it truly being normal. Opening whistle underway from the campus of FIU. Miami taking on Loudoun. Jermaine Forda is the leader of this Loudoun group, for one. The 27-year-old from England coming in from El Paso. Chance to start here now. Floated ball forward, recovered by Miami. Downs. Garay. Bolivar. That's an easy pickup for Connor Sparrow, who spent 2020 in Chicago, played one game for the Fire. And so much of this, Eric, in speaking with Paul Dalglish over the past week, we look for player profiles and fits, mentality-wise, physically, to fit our game model. They feel this is a better group of players to try and mesh together in 2021 than the results that were a bit of an anomaly in 2020.
And when you look at it, it's some key additions and really a winner's mentality when you bring in players like Speedy Williams and Paco Craig. Coming from a team like Lou City, it's going to be interesting how quickly this whole team can really mesh and build that, you know, that cohesion and both sides of the ball, really defensively and attacking.
Belongs to McFarland. Work by Martinez. De Silva. Del Campo reverses. Aquay.
You can already hear it from the Loudoun sideline that they really want to press Miami higher, really make them uncomfortable building out of the back and not allowing them to face forward.
Janos Loba getting down the line. Chance here to bring it down for De Silva. His pocket was picked. Mustafa. had the run of Sergei piercing down the middle of the field. Corner Loudoun. Now Shaloba out of Fordham. Took that program to an Elite Eight. Rams are back in the NCAA tournament this year. And his former coach, Jim McElderry, is now running the program over at Rutgers. Gray with a corner in the fourth. And a touch there from Sparrow to waft it along. Samake. Sparrow. Connor Sparrow started his collegiate career at UMKC, transferred into Creighton, that great Blue Jay program, started 51 games there. Time at Real Monarchs in the championship's Western Conference. And then briefly with Nashville before that stint in Chicago. Martinez. Speedy Williams. Look at all this space to operate in. Hung up a bit, allows Samake in. And down goes McFarland.
But that's the distribution that Miami FC is going to be looking for out of Speedy Williams. His ability to unlock those areas quickly is something that's going to be dangerous throughout the season, not even just tonight. And I think his ability to get forward in those moments as well is going to be vital for Miami FC as they look to compete in this division.
De Silva. It was over Francois. Martinez. Header, Craig! Miami scores! Twice a Defensive Player of the Year finalist, Paco Craig returns to the league and offers up the first goal of the season for Miami FC, brought to you by Helbiz.
What an opportunistic start for Miami FC. You get the first opportunity on a set piece, but it's that second chance where you have all the bodies still inside the 18-yard box, and you find the center back, Paco Craig. That first service by De Silva, and then the follow-up by Martinez. The exact start that they would have wanted.
De Silva, this off the post along the line, and in. 2-0 Miami. De Silva with the pressure. Perhaps the last touch on this came from Pancho in his pro debut. The goal brought to you by Helbiz. 2-0 Miami.
Keep attacking! Keep going!
And you knew Miami wanted to be aggressive in the attack and really active. But what a start. You get De Silva really causing havoc there and putting Loudoun in a position that they don't want to be in. And obviously, the follow-up and putting his team up 2-0 early.
Well, you can see the frustration there from Forda. De Silva is given the goal. 7th minute. All right, well, Miami's come to play tonight.
Talk about managing expectations. You want to have a first impression with Tampa's 3-0 win last night against Charlotte. You want to show that you can compete at the top of this Atlantic Division. And games like this at home are going to be statement games, and off to a 2-0 lead in the first 10 minutes. is going to be something that they're really going to be pleased with.
Pancho, Sparrow.
And with all the acquisitions over the offseason, they're very, very open with what they expect out of this team, and they want to be title contenders. They want to be a playoff team.
Whistle here from Natalie Simon, the referee.
Looks like Mustafa caught Luba. Mustafa thought he won possession and was able to break into the final third.
Well, he's back to his feet. And Del Campo will put it in play here for Miami FC.
Even before the 2-0 lead, you could see Miami came out with a lot of energy and a lot of intent. Going forward, getting numbers back behind the ball in transition as well. Again, we're gonna see how this whole season plays out, but right off the start, it looks like the additions and you know, the way they've really put this roster together is conducive to the way they want to play.
Offside flag was up here on Francois. Wasn't all that high scoring a preseason for Miami FC. 2-0 win was actually their best result. It was away at IMG Academy up in Bradenton, but it was against New York Red Bulls MLS side. Reed and Williams scored in that one. Wins over Naples United and FC Miami City. Gonzalo Higuain scored for Inter Miami in a match that was closed door, but the result leaked out during the Miami FC preseason.
And then on the flip side, you have a Loudoun team that played 2 preseason games, one against DC United, lost that one 5-1, and then Philly Union 2, and that was a 4-2 result. So conceding 9 goals in 2 games, albeit preseason matches. But you wonder if defensively this could be a long-term issue for them throughout the season.
And you look back at the last couple of years and you can say for Loudoun it's been a long-term issue. Allowed 28 goals in 13 games. Loudoun did not complete the season a year ago. And a side that in Group F watched Pittsburgh and Hartford sprint out to the top of the group. This year in the division format, Ryan Martin, who everyone you talk to around the league has a real appreciation for what Ryan Martin's trying to build here alongside DC United at Loudoun County. Still trying to get the defense down. Attack going well here for Loudoun United. Karam's out to Garay.
And going back to your point, it's both sides of the ball. Defensively,
Mustafa cleared.
Recording only 1 shutout all season in 2020. And then on the attacking side, being last in the league in total goals with 10. When you have Reno that led the league with 49, you had the Rowdies in second with 47. You know, but with Miami FC as well, they were tied for 5th most goals allowed last year with 34. So they had their own defensive issues. But when you add the players that they've looked to add with Paco Craig, Del Campo, and a number of those players, Connor Sparrow, you're hoping that changes that defensive mindset.
Excellent speed down the line. Francois made himself available, and this gets flicked away from Sion McFarland.
Up, Speedy!
Stay with Miami. No, all the pieces are there that make you think this should be a team that gels together nicely. Gets back to the standards of Miami FC. You look at all they achieved before coming into the championship. 2 regular season titles in the old NASL, 2-time champion of the MPSL, 1 NISA. And here Mustafa. Mustafa flies to ground. Referee comes in from behind. Decisions to make, and a straight red card. Janos Luba is sent off 14 minutes in for denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity.
And you give Loudoun United a lot of credit for this entry ball. And we knew Mustafa was going to be dangerous, whether it was running into space or having back to goal. You could see there, I mean, it's an early decision. And if you're Miami FC, obviously extremely disappointed with the call and the decision for the straight red card.
Miami FC's number 19, Janos Luba, in the 14th minute.
And you look at your 2-0 lead, you're going to have to manage quite a game here.
Eric, in your mind, is that a red?
That's really tough. I mean, it's up for interpretation, but I don't think so. I mean,
yeah. If you were your player, I guarantee you'd be saying it definitely isn't.
Yeah, that's an extremely harsh decision.
Well, Loba's sent off. Luba off. Miami with a 2-goal lead. Watches this careen off the wall from Pancho. Hope you're real comfortable looking at that graphic, Eric, because it's going to be here the rest of the game.
75 minutes.
Describe how much that changes things if you're Miami FC, where you've controlled the majority of the game thus far. Do you try and maintain that control, or you maybe begin to sit in a little bit more right off the bat?
I think here initially, especially, you continue the pressure that you've been implementing on Loudoun. Loudoun hasn't proven quite yet. I mean, it's still early. They haven't proven that they can break that press, other than that entry ball that just led to Luba's red card. Loudoun hasn't really been able to connect a lot of passes coming out of the back. So if you can continue to press them higher.
For what it's worth, the previous goal was changed by the league's official statisticians to an own goal, Wahab Akwe, in the 7th, and that was the free kick off the wall. And the ensuing pain there for Speedy Williams. So Paco Craig in the 6th, Akwe's own goal in the 7th. And now red card in the 14th.
And hopefully for Miami, they can get Speedy Williams back home.
Pancho. Chested down heavily on Mustafa. Good chip away to Silva.
I think it's always managing that first 10 to 15 minutes after a red card for both teams. You have a Loudoun team that really looks for that positive play after going up a man. And they're going to be a little bit more playing front foot, playing positive. And then you have Miami FC that's really going to look to keep this a 2-0 game and weather this storm right now.
Farron. Return from Downs. Good interchange here. Farron played it through. Attempt to hack at it. And Sergei wasn't able to knock it towards Sparrow.
you can already see the energy is really ramped up for Loudoun. They've got numbers going forward. They're linking up play there at the top of the 18. But again, if you're Miami, the longer you can frustrate this Loudoun team, the better, because they're gonna continue to try to figure out ideas, ask questions.
What questions do Loudoun ask here? They're notably without Drew Skundrich, Adam Lundegaard as well, both more experienced players on the roster. Taken on by Garay. Pancho. First game for Logan Pancho since the 2019 NCAA season. Clever ball forward by Farron. Francois. Akwe circles back.
And I really think moments like this, it's so important that you have Paco Craig, Del Campo, Williams, those kind of players that have been there, done that, have that experience, have that championship mentality. They're gonna manage this, because every time you go down a player, you start figuring out what spaces the other team is looking to expose, whether it's out wide, and then you need to start focusing on trying to keep them on one side of the field, or are they gonna keep trying to just serve balls in, and then you could sit in and really defend the service?
Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com.
You still see Miami's line of confrontation is pretty high. If they can keep Loudoun building out of the back here, Loudoun's the one that needs to get a goal back to cut this deficit.
But with Loudoun continuing to progress, there may be a change here for Miami upcoming to try and stem the tide a little bit. Losing a left back. Ball popped across. Speared back by McFarland.
And it's really as expected. And I think if you're one of the three forwards for Miami FC, you're looking around wondering which one it's going to be.
My number? Mustafa. A cut back there by Pancho.
They're all trying to show their head coach that they can defend here. I can go press the ball. I can win it and go 1v1.
Sub for Miami whenever you guys get the chance.
But you have to make this change.
Antonelli's the one who's standing by the fourth official. And what a story that's going to be. Player with some real top world experience. Attempt by Farron to break through. Goals in the 6th and 7th minute here for Miami. This a handball.
And even after this change happens, what I really like that Miami's doing so far is, with playing a player down, is they're pressing Loudoun as high as they can, but once they don't get a successful press together or win possession higher up, they immediately drop and they're able to get numbers back behind the ball.
Well, what's interesting is Ariel Martinez was wearing the captain's armband tonight, and he's the one who's going to have to be selfless about this. The frustration one would certainly understand. Opening night, worked all offseason. The 34-year-old coming on to replace him is Luca Antonelli. So an outside back replacing a forward. And in the end, it's going to be a real short night here for Martinez. And Antonelli's USL Championship debut. Played for Milan, played for Parma, Genoa, Empoli. His entire career in Italy. When he debuted in Serie A, the coach was Carlo Ancelotti. And on the field, Seedorf, Pirlo, Kaká.
Absolutely incredible. And these are always tough decisions for coaches. I mean, it's not in the game plan to go down a player so early. I mean, you have to have that thought, what your plan would be if you did go a player down. So it's tough to make those decisions on who has to come off. But I will say, in 24 minutes, Martinez already recorded an assist.
So on the board. The Serie B season canceled in Italy. That sort of opened the door. This is the first game for Luca Antonelli since August of 2020. So I imagine he's excited to get back in, although that's an awkward landing. Kairu Mustafa's hands go up. Welcome to the league, Luca. Fans, the USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ plus community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. You can learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud.
And those are the transition moments that Mustafa is going to be very dangerous, is when they win possession, and if they can go direct. He does such a great job of finding that open space and those gaps. And he's matched up with Antonelli. So this will be a great matchup to watch throughout the rest of the night.
I mean, if you're Mustafa, you're going up against a guy who played in a Big 5 league in Europe, and what's more, has a dozen Baker's dozen caps for the Italian national team. This is probably the best resume of any player you've gone up against. Turned over to De Silva. Ray did well to break that down the first time. Going stride for stride now with De Silva. Akinyoti. Akinyoti, clever. Roseboom. Williams. Francois. McFarland. Speedy Williams going in there, 50-50. Mel handled it well.
And you're going to see it throughout the match now with the early red card to Luba. Miami's going to have to pick their spots, and that was a moment where they had numbers going forward. They could really pick out their passes, but other than that, it's going to be very selective in what they do going forward, because they're going to have to sit back and make loud and complete passes going forward and really force them to play in narrow spaces
comfortable enough for Sparrow.
And those are the opportunities that Miami will be okay with Loudoun taking.
Slid away from Akinyoti. Mustafa. Mustafa creatively dancing, kept his feet, shot is ripped high and wide by Sammy Sergi. How in the world did Cairo Mustafa stick with this?
And these are going to be the dangerous moments in the final third in the 18-yard box because Mustafa is so dangerous 1v1. His ability to technically take people on, you just worry about the moment defensively if you try to take a poke at the ball and then you get Mustafa and now you've given up a penalty kick or any opportunity outside the box.
Pancho's shot ricocheted over the end line. In the corner for Loudoun. If you didn't tune in on time, that was a mistake. A red card and 2 goals in the opening 14 minutes. Ball lofted. Antonelli got a piece. Akwe hammered by Mel as the whistle came in.
And unfortunately, those opening exchanges in that first 15 minutes was probably the game that we all wanted to see. It was open. Loudoun found those moments to go direct and find that transitional ball. And then Miami did a great job of building through Speedy Williams, Akinyoti, and they found those moments in set pieces as well. And now with Miami being down a player, it's definitely changed the complexion of the game.
It was certainly a lifeline for Loudoun and Ryan Martin early in this game to get Miami reduced a player. And if they can grab a goal here before halftime, this is going to feel a lot different. Farron. Return broke down. Akinyoti. Cristiano Francois. Samake, a hard step. Forward now for Francois. Flag is up, offside. Francois is a tricky player for an AR to deal with. So much speed that oftentimes he'll look just a hair off. This one seems clear enough, but he'll sit on that back shoulder of the wing backs and try and sneak around behind. Francois, a lengthy, distinguished career with winning teams in this league. Pancho. Francois came up through DC United after finishing college at Maryland. Haitian international, has 3 caps to his name. A little bit of time in the Portuguese second division, but time in Pittsburgh, Rochester, Reno, all winning teams. There's a couple guys with DC United background playing tonight for Miami. Lance Roseboom actually was with DC United in 2012, tore his ACL in that preseason, never got a chance to feature. Downs, Pancho. Came off Antonelli. Corner, Loudoun.
And these are going to be those situations where Loudoun feels like they can really stack numbers inside the 18-yard box. And as you mentioned a few moments ago, is if you can go into halftime down 2-1 instead of 2-0, that's going to be a big momentum shift for Loudoun.
Pancho, effort by Mel, another corner. Timmy Mel captains the side, played for the Hoosiers of Indiana. Went into North Carolina FC, played a little bit of right back, but primarily a center back for Dave Sarakin. Comes in to captain this very young Loudoun team this year. Pancho. Ball skips through, and this hits off the crossbar. Well, that would have been something from Sammy Sergi. That was hit on a wing and a prayer.
Really two dangerous services in by Pancho. Whenever you give the first runner opportunity to either leave or flick it on for another player, it leaves defenders scrambling. I still think Loudoun's gonna find their success in transition. Once they win the ball, finding that space where their number's up. Right now, it's been on that right side with Pancho. But the space available is gonna be ever-changing.
Slide in there, draws a whistle. And they're gonna have to bring this all the way back.
98.
Cheer!
McFarland, Francois. It's a very different look now for Miami FC. When you talk about dropping your 9, but really a false 9 in the sense that Real Martinez can go wherever he wants offensively, has a complete green light. Francois and De Silva are certainly different players. Pancho has been the offensive spark plug thus far. Gives this away cheaply.
And going back to your point, the way this roster was built with De Silva and Francois, Martinez, obviously Martinez is off the field now. But what I really like is they're two players that complement each other in different ways, but you've added players like Williams, Akinyoti, and then we saw it earlier with Antonelli, that these players have the ability to complete a high percentage of passes that are 25 yards plus. They can really open up the field, and when you have two forwards, and again with Martinez as well, that can really, find different spaces and areas, but you also have players that can unlock those with those longer passes and those accurate services. That's gonna be key. You keep back lines guessing. Are they gonna play in front of us? Or are they gonna find space behind us?
Driven forward, Mel, woo, big collision, Forta. This is gonna be a throw, but the knock to the head here is gonna cause a stoppage.
And these are those moments that I was just talking about, that ability to play a ball in.
You need the trainer or not?
And you see McFarland making the run in. And you've got a lot, like Miami's aggressiveness going forward in those moments.
I'm not running into Forta again. What a brick wall. Farland went toppling, everyone's okay, thankfully. Francois sends this into no man's land. Look at the speed of Mustafa. A heavy touch. Sparrow comes out, and Mustafa pounds the turf.
Fantastic pace by Mustafa, but that touch just lets him down here at the end. And Connor Sparrow, give him credit reading that second touch. His ability to play off his line.
Pancho. Nothing doing there on the header by Bolivar. Thrown into Farron here, who earlier I mentioned being at Syracuse, played in the Big East. He's far too young for that. He played in the ACC. Pancho. Deflected. That's a strong little header away.
And you can see Loudoun's willingness to want to play the ball wide with Pancho. They're going to have to commit runners to various levels there in the 18-yard box.
And they're going after it again. Okay, Antonelli plays this out. Came on for Martinez following the 14th minute red card. Janos Luba. Akwe finds Samake. Here comes the Ivorian. He goes down. Referee says all ball. Play allowed to continue.
What a brave tackle by Francois there in the back. But if you're going to commit to this wide play like Loudoun is, you've got to continue to develop the layers, being very dynamic once that ball goes wide, because you're really not moving a lot of the Miami FC players around right now, and they're able to deal with these services in. And I think that's something that Ryan Martin's going to want to adjust to here at halftime. Whether it's the timing or the wide players engaging 1v1. You saw there Samake going at Francois 1v1, trying to pull that back line off that 6-yard box.
Well, this part of the attack's been easy. Pancho again. Samake took it out of the air, hammers it toward goal.
And that's better by Loudoun. Pancho driving it deeper down the line.
Farron short of Sergi. De Silva gives it back. Farron, the return with a deflection came right on to Farron, and see the frustration starting to build here for Loudoun. The more chances they create without really putting Sparrow under pressure, you got to say that's a problem. Forward again. Goodness me. Pancho delivers. Header off target by Sergi. The USL on ESPN continues Thursday, May the 6th on ESPN Deportes with an early season cross-divisional showdown. The first time ever Rio Grande Valley FC welcomes Landon Donovan's San Diego Loyal SC as the USL Championship season hits full stride. RGV and San Diego from the Valley, May the 6th, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. We'll see it as well on ESPN Plus in English. The ESPN2 portion of the schedule returns May 15th, May 16th with Unfinished Business Weekend. Tampa Bay Rowdies will take on Phoenix Rising, the canceled championship final. Greenville and Omaha, the canceled League One final that Sunday. Downs.
And just as Loudoun wants to find that wide play with Samake and Pancho, that's something that Miami FC is okay with as well. Because when you're playing a player down, you're going to make sure that you're guiding the opposing team to the space you're most comfortable with. And right now, Miami FC feels comfortable with dealing with these services with Connor Sparrow, with Paco Craig, Del Campo, McFarland, and Antonelli.
McFarland got knocked by Samake.
You just wonder if it would be different if they weren't up 2-0, if the game plan would be a little different in terms of the space that you allowed Loudoun to play into. But right now, you don't want to give Loudoun anything in the middle of the field, top of the 18.
What do you guys want to do?
And you could see it, you mentioned it earlier, they're getting frustrated because they're not allowed to link up play there at the top of the 18.
And you would think there's an element. Paco Craig is so good in the air, scored the opening goal through the air, but defensively sturdy as well. You might just be more willing to allow that ball to be lobbed over the top. As De Silva settles, has to circumnavigate through traffic. Antonelli. Olu Akinyoti. Garay. But if you're willing to allow Pancho to have 25 crosses today, so be it. Anytime you're down a man, you have to pick your poison somewhere. It's Pancho again. Pancho flicks. Well, it's a pretty decent example. Paco Craig knocks it away.
But those are the moments that they're going to want to find a lot more of in the second half.
Heavy deflection on Garay's shot.
Is those moments where Pancho can go 1v1 and really cause somebody from the back line or defensively from Miami to step up, leave that defensive area.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time.
Into stoppage time.
3 minutes.
Launched across, punched away by Sparrow. Stoppage time brought to you by the Miami FC Youth Academy. Brought down by McFarland. He clears. Want to join the Miami FC Youth Academy? Visit miamifc.com/academy to register to the only academy in Miami connected to a professional team. This will deflect out. Corner, Loudoun. Hand flings up. Corner driven. No chance to get to Farron. Look at Francois stride. Downs.
Yeah, you're going to want to slow down this play right now for Miami. Go into the locker room up 2-0. Regroup. Talk tactics. How you want to attack the last 45 minutes of this match. Fantastic start for Miami FC and something that is going to be very important for them because of being a player down now.
Speedy Williams, no player completed more passes in the USL Championship last year, and it was by over 100. Williams again. Simply lost touch with it. He'll press Farron right into the corner as we close in on the final minute of first half stoppage time. Akinyoti. Paco Craig.
You see this eagerness by Miami FC to really press Loudoun when they're facing their own goal. And it's a collective eagerness. It's not just one player. It's not just De Silva. It's just not Francois. It's collectively. And it's causing Loudoun a lot of problems building out of that back.
Francois, come. A la esquina, hey, la esquina, 30 segundos. Look at the hands, man.
Antonelli. Oh, here he goes. Antonelli, and Forda knocks it down. There's still some juice.
Antonelli has been really good since coming on. Obviously not an ideal situation of the reason him coming on, but what a clever touch to create an opportunity there at the end.
And that'll take us into halftime. Paco Craig, 2 goals in 2019, his last year in the league, went over to England, played in the lower divisions, returns to Miami, and handed the captain's armband in the absence of Martinez, who subbed out with the red card to Loudoun in the 14th. Well, there was the initial 11, the first goal of the Miami FC season, the first own goal for Loudoun, 2-0 at the half.
But now, to move forward, to start running again, we have to change. We need to learn to be smarter and lighter, to reach each other in the distance. We will move, run, and ride. But we need to decide how. Because our choices can change everything. We are choosing a new era.
This is a football city. From the grassroots to the turf. From the streets to the cleats. We are proud to represent this city. We are proud to represent Miami. We are proud to represent you. Your community, your club.
Halftime at FIU, Miami FC grabs goals in the 6th and the 7th minute, and Loudoun United the opportunity to get back into it due to the red card in the 14th to Janos Luba. This halftime is brought to you by Macron. Shop the new 2021 Miami FC Macron jersey collection at miamifc.com. Well, we know about this professional team and all that they've accomplished over the years, but recently the Miami FC was able to give their academy players an experience of a lifetime as they face the U19s. Here's more on their thoughts on the experience.
Once in a lifetime experience, really, honestly, and to really see how the quality that these players have, it's a blessing. I know for me and my teammates, we learned so much.
Man, it was an awesome day. I think it's a really good opportunity for our team to just see where we're at.
Well, I think it's a great opportunity for them. It's definitely something that I wish I would have been able to do as a kid.
But we know that the level that we have to be at, these guys, they were stronger than us, faster than us, quicker than us, and we know that we can one day get to this level because this is a great learning experience for us.
We get to aspire to be that. And it also shows them that we're just regular players just like they are, you know? And, you know, we come from where they are.
I wasn't going to let anything get in my way of achieving my goals, which were to be a professional soccer player. So the first opportunity I got at preseason, when a teammate asked like if I was dating a girl or something, I just came out to a bunch of my teammates at dinner and said, no, I'm gay. All I needed to do was that one time, because then I didn't lie. Your sexuality should never limit you from playing the sport you love.
Header, did it find the net? It did! Cross, early opportunity.
takes the lead.
But now, to move forward, to start running again, we have to change. We need to learn to be smarter and lighter, to reach each other in the distance. We will move, run, and ride. But we need to decide how. Because our choices can change everything. We are choosing a new era.
Welcome back on this gorgeous night in South Florida. This halftime is brought to you by Macron. Shop the new 2021 Miami FC Macron jersey collection at MiamiFC.com. The lights are on here at FIU Stadium with Eric Dobransky, Mike Watts. Let's take a look at some news and notes from around the USL Championship. The USL announcing a new deal with ESPN International. It expands the USL's footprint to nearly 60 million more homes, including Mexico and Brazil. Paulo Del Piccolo grabbed a couple of goals, is the Clear Audio USL Player of the Week for the performance against Atlanta United 2. I think we're all pretty excited to see what RGV can do against San Diego, who looked a bit out of sorts in their opener.
Yeah, and I think the way the new format is, you know, the start's going to be important. They're not. A lot of teams aren't going to want to look back at points dropped, whether it's 1 or 3.
As we take a look at the scoreboard around the league, and OKC unable to take advantage against Atlanta United 2 at home. Tampa Bay, great start against Charlotte Independence. First time that an all-female refereeing crew has been on the field. AR's referee and 4th official in 2 years' time as well. And FC Tulsa, that's a big win.
And I think going back to that Rowdies result, I think the disappointing result for Charlotte as well. I think a team that really wanted to start off much better than that in the Atlantic Division.
Let's tell you about the USL on ESPN. ESPN Deportes has that RGV San Diego game, 8 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday night. ESPN2 will have the Tampa Bay Phoenix game that we never got from back in November. That's 8 Eastern. The following night is going to be the USL League One championship game, so to speak, with Union Omaha taking on Greenville, and then a few games coming up on ESPN Deportes. This should wet your whistle, all right?
I think, again, important games here early on, so it's going to be crucial to get some results here and really solidify yourself in the divisions that you're placed in.
Well, we've got plenty of highlights coming up from this first half, and one refereeing decision that probably raised a few eyebrows. We'll break it all down when we return to this halftime, presented by Macron. Miami 2, Loudoun 0 at the break.
This is a football city. From the grassroots to the turf. From the streets to the cleats. We are proud to represent this city. We are proud to represent Miami. We are proud to represent you. Your community, your club.
But now, to move forward, to start running again, we have to change. We need to learn to be smarter and lighter, to reach each other in the distance. We will move, run, and ride. But we need to decide how. Because our choices can change everything. We are choosing a new era.
Welcome back, and you can see Miami off in the distance from FIU Stadium, Marlins Park. Miami FC 2, Loudoun United 0 at halftime, presented by Macron. Let's take a look at first half highlights, and they're brought to you by Helbiz. If you're Miami, this couldn't have started your season any better. For all the struggles in game one before the pandemic in 2020, forget that goal in the 6th.
Really early and often, and here a second chance opportunity for Martinez, finding Paco Craig off the service by De Silva. Great start by Miami FC. Even before this, the pressure that they were applying to Loudoun through the back just caused them a lot of problems, and they found themselves in really good positions higher up the field. And then here, the pressure again, that ability to play that longer pass, that direct pass. And you see De Silva just pressing, and Loudoun scrambling to get out of the back. And Forta has no opportunity to get a handle on that one, and it finds the back of the net.
Akwe is going to be the one credited with the goal. If he had intended to score that, it's a beautiful finish. Alas, it's an own goal. Loudoun trails 2-0. And good combinations in the attack in that first half for Loudoun United once they did get into the final third.
And the dynamic of the game shifted after Luba found himself with that direct red card. And then you saw Loudoun really find a lot of opportunities wide. They were able to link up a couple times on the top of the 18 to provide some opportunities, but really their play came from the wide play of Pancho and Samake.
Well, the shots say Loudoun dominated, but really, as you said, everything changed in the 14th minute. For Miami FC, though, that's as clean an efficiency as you'll ever get.
And if you're Miami FC, you're not okay with the red card because it was an unfortunate red card, but you're happy to go into halftime up 2-0 and keep that lead because the possession and the shots are going to go towards Loudoun United even throughout the second half. Miami FC will make some tactical adjustments to try to limit some of the possession out wide for Loudoun, but they're going to have to really absorb a lot of pressure and deal with the services as well as they did in that first half.
Let's take a look at upcoming schedules to keep in mind where we're going here. It's only game one. We got 31 to go. For Miami, you host Hartford Athletic, who just won. Miami has a chance to go level with them atop the division here in the Atlantic, and then away to New York and away to the Tampa Bay Rowdies the following two games. That may be their benchmark.
Yeah, and, facing a really good Tampa Bay Rowdies team that was supposed to be in the championship final against Phoenix Rising last season, that'll be a fantastic test for this group.
And the upcoming schedule for Loudoun United, they get Red Bulls next at Segra Field in Loudoun County. So for Loudoun United, it's a bit of a rivalry match, so to speak. Then they go away to New Mexico. We're crossing up the conferences.
And depending on the result tonight, that New York Red Bulls game is going to be very important for this Loudoun group to get back on the board and get 3 points, and it's at home. So really a motivated group to really get a result.
And so for Loudoun United, Ryan Martin is having a bit of a difficult night, one would imagine. They've created a ton of opportunities, And will there be adjustments in this second half, this free window at halftime? Each team allowed 5 substitutes, as was the case during that truncated 2020 season. Ted Coup de Pietro set to come on here at the break. And what do you do if you're Ryan Martin? It felt like you did most everything you were trying to do once you went up a man 15 minutes in.
As a head coach, you definitely have to look at your team and tell them to continue to do what they were doing there in the first half. Finding that wide play, finding the services, but it's going to take just a special moment to unlock that goal that they really need to get back in this game, because if they can make this game 2-1, it'll change the momentum very quickly. But right now, Miami FC's been able to frustrate Loudoun, dealing with services, really being timely with the clearances, you know, not allowing link-up play in that final third on top of the 18. But it is going to take a special moment, and if you're Miami FC, you know that a lot of what they do offensively, Loudoun does, is through Mustafa. So if you can really divert that to make somebody else be a playmaker and score the goal, then that would be your goal overall.
Opening whistle for this second half. Loudoun in red move right to left. And can they tip the field here in this second half, grab a goal, get back in this thing with Miami down a man for the final 30 minutes of the first half. Rolls out wide, Samake. The slide belongs to Miami. Lamar Walker's come on, replaces Pierre De Silva. They really think there's something special about Lamar Walker. You could hear it in the tone Paul Dalglish used. He's got talent.
If we get Lamar, when we win it and we get possession, then get right.
21-year-old already debuted for Jamaica back when he was 19. He's bagged half a dozen caps and a goal. The international stage, backed by Akinioti.
And if Miami can continue to frustrate Loudoun here in the first 10 minutes, it might provide them opportunities and spaces in transition to go at Loudoun and maybe potentially find a third goal in this game.
A free kick for Loudoun. Walker went in the wrong way.
And these are not the moments you want to give up early if you're Miami. Set pieces in that final third. And if you're Walker, you just need to be a little more careful there, knowing that there wasn't really a dangerous opportunity coming from it, and now you've given the opportunity to get numbers inside the box.
Ball struck, header wrong from Sergi. Well, decent idea here for Loudoun, but nothing doing. The Atlantic Rehabilitation Center injury report, we take another look. Bobby Dambrot is out, and Miami FC without injuries coming into the night. Mentioned at the outset, they were one of the first teams in the league into camp and began about a week later than the first 4 teams did. They had an idea that perhaps COVID could provide a pause or two. It has. They've been able to get in a handful of games to which we know the results. And they've been able to play Inter Miami a couple of times as well. This ball ahead is certainly on point, but the shot from Sammy Sergi is one that maybe lacked a bit of discipline. There's some energy in these front-facing players for Loudoun. Sergi, Mustafa, they've been fun to watch.
And that's a similar ball that was played into Mustafa early into that first half that caused this Miami team problems. You want a better attempt from Sergi as well on that finish. At least test Connor Sparrow and make him make a save.
Gosh, Bolivar just sort of stood up there, huh? 19-year-old Venezuelan attacker. Miami bench in no hurry to help out.
You have a fairly young attacking group in this Loudoun side.
Coup de Pietro, excellent. Ball chipped away, Bolivar. Corner. Akinyoti among those who are racing back into position. Corner.
So you can see a lot of that creativity here in that final third. With Coup de Pietro coming right on and making an impact. Just missed that final touch.
How about that number? 50th minute. Can Loudoun make something out of this? 8th corner, bounces across toward the line. Sparrow kept it out. The entire Loudoun team is screaming for a handball. Perhaps that got over the line. There's a lot of traffic in front of goal, and Sparrow wasn't the only one on the line. The one who had the best chance was Sergi. Pancho now. There's a corner coming, but first we'll look back at the last.
And those are going to be the opportunities that Loudoun's going to have to look back on as they need to convert.
Pancho. Sergi. Well, now a goal kick. Now we can look back at that chaotic moment on the previous set piece.
Because you have a team in Miami that's accepted that they're going to have to deal with services the rest of this match. And it's going to be opportunities like this that you put that in and it's 2-1 and you've got a lot of time to find the second and possibly the game winner as well.
From what you saw there, it didn't seem like the ball was over the line or that there was a handball for Miami. I think that's pretty clean.
It did. It looked like a good save by Connor Sparrow. It looked like Sergi had the opportunity to place it. And that's where you want to see these young attackers for Loudoun with that composure to get their team back in the game.
Chance here. Forda sticks a palm out toward the line, and that escaped. It will be a corner for Miami. Good response for Miami FC.
What a turn and a strike here by Walker. Really surprising Forda. So quick. You think that Walker's going away from goal. Just a little touch off to his right side and taking it left-footed.
First corner for Miami. Walker to the back post. Struck by Roseboom. And we saw Paco Craig the target again there.
If you're Ryan Martin in this Loudoun side, you want to see your team cut this deficit in half by at least the 70-minute mark. You give yourself 20 minutes to find the equalizer.
That's a high boot and a really dangerous one. There's a yellow to Sergi. He's trying to wing around and have a whack at this.
And Sergi's had a frustrating 7 minutes so far here in the second half with the high boot against Antonelli, and probably the two best chances that Loudoun's had here in the second half. So Sergi's frustration is only going to increase here.
And the two make peace there. You can see where Sergi, the goal-scoring mentality, and he scored a lot at Xavier in college. 40 goals for the Musketeers, but you get why he's willing to go for that, but you got to make sure there's no one that you're potentially decapitating.
You're absolutely right in regards to his aggressiveness has been fantastic to open the second half, but he's just got to be a little bit more composed around the goal. And these moments where Miami FC can just kind of chip away at the time here. 30 seconds there, 15 seconds. They're going to take advantage of those opportunities. And even on these set pieces, you're going to give up a lot of corners here in the second half, but it's still an opportunity where you can still get numbers back. Everything's right in front of you.
Caromed off of McFarland, leads to the corner. Header is lifted high. That was Giovanni Bolivar inside the 6 and able to put a lot of forehead on this.
We'll continue to say it all night. The services have been excellent. The runs overall have been, they're getting there. The layers are getting there. They still have to be a little bit more dynamic, whether it's recycling, whether it's recognizing other space that's opening up as the play develops. But they're still just lacking that final moment.
Walker shoved away by Akwe. And if you think about what Loudoun's done in years past, yeah, they only won 1 game last year. They certainly conceded too many, but it's usually a pretty fluid game. They've got a ton of young players that are tricky and clever, able to combine well. And you think about Ryan Martin's role, he's also the academy director for DC United, so he's known a lot of these kids for a long time since leaving John Hark's staff in Cincinnati. Scuffed by McFarland. Bolivar. There's Akinyoti. Antonelli, this will fall for Bolivar. Bolivar went for goal. Sparrow parries this right and out.
And I was just about to say that if you're Miami, you've got to make sure you do not create the opportunities for Loudoun.
Short corner. There's the step by Samake. DiPietro. Ku DiPietro falls. And Farron committed a foul. Akinyoti splays out. Another look at that terrific save by Sparrow.
And you get what they're trying to do out of the back, Antonelli, but just a careless turnover there and giving Loudoun an opportunity to have a clear look at top of the 18. And Connor Sparrow coming up with a big save to keep his team up 2-0.
It's been bend but don't break for Miami since the red card was issued in the 14th minute. Mustafa cuts this back. Ku DiPietro. Brought down by Pancho. Pancho crossing. Sergi was there. Corner, another.
Again, just not creating the chances for Loudoun to get back in this game. Second chance opportunities. Early on in the first half, Miami was all over those second balls, and here it's going towards Loudoun.
Corner knotted up. Back to Samake, and there's Sparrow again. I'm not sure Sparrow thought he was going to be this busy tonight, but he's been on the money.
And that's the only thing, is you can start seeing some of the cracks develop here for Miami FC defending these set pieces, because these second chance opportunities are coming more often.
Corner again, speared header. Sparrow yanks it down. Sergi at the far post, and Miami tries to run. That's a bit much at the end from Francois.
And you give Loudoun a lot of credit with being creative now in the wide areas. They're trying far post runners whereas in the first half they were trying front post runners with a little bit of a flick. They're really creating different looks, causing Miami FC to defend this a little differently. And you are starting to see a consistent danger from all of that wide play.
Francois shown a yellow. Into the 60th minute. Goal here for Loudoun would really put some wind in their sails. Early ball. Layered out wide by Farron. There's the cross, punched away. Sparrow off his line. Maintained, excellent from Akwe. Now Francois flicks into space. This would be onside. Walker and Akwe broke it up.
And give Connor Sparrow a lot of credit for being pivotal in weathering this storm right now. He's had to make a number of crucial saves right now to make sure that this lead is retained.
Pancho, rebound steered away. Garay, Samake delivers with a deflection. Attempt to backheel flick that forward by Farron. Garay stepped in, and this would have been into an offside position. Challenged by Akinyoti has Garay a bit mixed up.
I have a sub. We also have a sub. Let's get the subs in. Okay, right here. Let's do 14 first.
Well, there's going to be a lengthy list of subs, it appears, coming.
Chris. 9 blue. Cool.
Gabera coming in for Farron.
Coming on is number 21, Adonijah Reed.
Adonijah Reed
Number 9, Cristiano
comes on for Francois.
And a substitution for
Why did you stop the game? Why did you stop the game?
Replacing number 6,
You only meant to stop it for a head injury, right?
And going back to the different looks that Loudoun's starting to create, a lot of that comes from Miami FC dropping sooner than they have to on defending those services. When you've become comfortable with just accepting that you're going to allow Loudoun wide play and you're going to have to defend the services, that line is dropping quicker and quicker into their own 18, which is opening up space that wasn't there in the first half and wasn't even there in the early part of the second half. But you could see it as soon as that ball finds that wide area in the final third for Loudoun, Miami's back line is almost pinned to the top of their 6-yard box, and that's leaving a lot of room for different runs and different looks. So if you're Miami, you want, and you're Connor Sparrow, you want to keep your back line not retreating into your own 18-yard box so early. Hey, keep the line at the 18-yard box. As soon as it gets deeper, then we could start dropping. I get it that you want to have position, you want to be facing outwards to deal with it, but you are opening up spaces where late runners in those second chance opportunities can fall right.
Coup de Pietro. Garay. Return past Bolivar. Cabrera. There's the slide down and a chance here for Reed to run. Reed dices this in behind. Not a full sprint. It's Walker with a heavy touch at the end. Well, those are the moments for Miami. If you are so compact, when you spring out, that's the aggression that Paul Dalglish is looking for. But it's Loudoun with a chance perhaps to expose Miami. Head to Bolivar. Broken up. Reed. Slide in there was clean. Reed has a chance potentially to play that big ball again.
And Walker's going to want that touch back because that's a grand opportunity to put your team up 3-0 and really put this game to rest for the most part. Your team is taking on a lot of pressure.
Here he goes again. Lamar Walker. Walker dancing, Rose Boom. Well, now Miami's starting to regain a bit of control.
And that was interesting defensively from Loudoun. It was very casual. There was really only one runner in Rose Boom that was available in the box, and somehow he ends up being wide open and on the end of that.
Both center backs are gesturing, going, I thought you had him.
Very odd.
And in the end, both center backs were 4 or 5 yards off the goal line. Ball clipped across for Sergi. Paco Craig lofts it into the end zone. Corner Loudoun. Is this the moment? 13 corners to 1. Another set piece. Jeremy Garay. They want to see him continue to develop that vocal leadership on the field. Garay goes short. Pancho.
Logan!
There will be a substitution here. Well, I think the board on the back is not the same as the board on the front, if I've got this right. It's a little different when there aren't fans in the stadium, isn't it? They're really just trying to tell the one player, hey, man, you're out. It's going to be Hassan Pinto coming on. And Logan Pancho comes off. Look, Pancho doesn't end up creating a goal, but some of those services were scintillating.
A substitution for Loudoun United coming on is number 5.
They were, and you wonder if you're trying to bring on a different look with Pinto.
In the 66th minute.
You know, maybe he sends in a different type of ball that Ryan Martin wants to see.
Bobbled and Del Campo had to take over, and out to Williams, and no problem at all for Miami at the end. You think about Pancho, this is a guy who was selected 32nd overall, captain to Stanford as a junior, comes back for a senior year, and the Pac-12 never played games. He gets drafted, goes to camp, signs with the Loudoun. The rest is history. But Logan Pancho, who won a national championship for Jeremy Gunn, forward to pro career now.
And he had a lot of freedom there on that right side, and you would have really liked to see an end product there, because between him and Samake, the services were there. It's really, again, just finding that execution. Looks like Samake took a bit of a knock right there. And for Miami, you're gonna take advantage of these moments where you can take a breather. You can kind of relax your legs because you're taking on a lot of pressure. And then on top of that, when you're able to break out, you're breaking out in a pace, in a fashion that is really, you know, you're trying not to put a lot of wear and tear in the runs. And you could see they sent in Walker once, and then they didn't send him directly after that. They're trying to pick and choose their moments to break out. They're hoping to get to the 70th minute mark, and then after that, it really becomes trying to see this game out 5 minutes at a time, because that fatigue is going to start to wear.
This is non-contact as well. One hopes it's just the heat and humidity of South Florida playing a role. But that was obvious. There was no touch there from Rose Boom.
Never like to see any player go down with contact or non-contact, but especially a play like that, you just worry. Because in those moments, sometimes the player really felt something and doesn't feel comfortable. You're hoping that Samake is okay.
Well, they're handing him some, how do I put this, sports drink. I'm not sure how the sponsorships work around here.
You're hoping it's just a bit of cramping. He has been up and down the line, just like Pancho.
He's preparing to come back in, so that's a bit of good news.
You can clearly see those levels for Miami FC. They're trying to make it so hard for Loudoun to break them down with one pass. If Loudoun's going to break them down, they're going to have to connect 2, 3, 4, 5 passes, because Miami FC is really committed to those support defenders and being well positioned.
McFarland, there wasn't a late run down the far side. Excellent here for Loudoun as they cross midfield. And with 20 minutes to go, still seeking that goal that could get them back in. The USL on ESPN continues Thursday, May the 6th on ESPN Deportes. An early season cross-divisional game. First time ever that Rio Grande Valley FC will welcome San Diego Loyal and their coach Landon Donovan. The USL Championship season hitting its full stride. RGV San Diego from the Valley, May the 6th, 8 p.m. Eastern, ESPN Deportes. Back into the game after dealing with that injury. The cross from Samake is intriguing. Clipped down, Mustafa didn't get that right. Garay. Attack continues here for Loudoun, who've been up a man since the 14th minute. It's hammered from distance, nothing there for Kud DePietro. Taken away from Reed. Walker making that sneaking, darting run in off the backside. Had to come back, now he's on the ball.
And other than a couple of these moments where Loudoun's caught kind of casually defending, they've really committed to staying very attack-oriented right now and very aggressive. You would have thought that by now maybe they would have, kind of grown a little frustrated with what was going on attacking-wise, but you could see Loudoun is committed to this, and they're trying to find any way to get back in this.
Samake again. Settled, Kud DePietro, Bolivar. Bolu Akinyoti. Akinyoti, one of the newcomers, inquired with Birmingham about his availability. A winding road for Akinyoti. Akinyoti takes over here. That was a good effort to recover the ball by Speedy. Walker with Reed huffing and puffing down the middle. It's Walker! Forda, quick distribution.
Walker has been incredibly dangerous since coming on, but you can see it with Miami. They're starting to get a little fatigued, both physically and mentally, and see if that's going to cost them here. Because you make a couple late decisions to cover or rotate, or a poor decision on clearances, and Loudoun's right back in.
A lot of risk. Maintained by Reed. Walker looks like he's run out of gas entirely, hasn't he?
but he's done a tremendous job since coming on, really holding up play, recognizing moments where he can go at Loudoun's back line, but also recognize moments like this where he can allow some of his teammates to get in the attack with him and possibly draw a set piece.
Yep. Yeah, of course, yeah.
And if you're Miami, you're looking at this as an opportunity to possibly put this game away. You just need one really good set piece to make this 3-0, and then all that momentum that Loudoun's carrying right now.
Forta's got the wall the way he likes it. There's the shot. Speedy Williams didn't get to take a lot of free kicks when he was playing with Cameron Lancaster in Louisville, one of the great free kick artists in the league. Let's fly there. On the road, can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio. Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and the brand new USL All Access. It's every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches all week long as this ball steered away. MLS, Premier League, UEFA Champions League, and of course, USL Championship and League One. Channel 157. Header down toward the line, cleared away. You can see that on the SiriusXM app and your SiriusXM radio. 15 minutes to go. Mel. 76th minute. Miami scored in the 6th minute. Paco Craig, a header in his club debut. A minute later, Pierre De Silva's pressure ultimately causes Wahab Akwe to put it off the post and into his own net, an own goal. In the 14th minute, Janos Luba sent off for what I think in hindsight we'll say was a questionable shoulder-to-shoulder charge, but a difficult subjective decision for the referee. Loudoun had the momentum the remainder of the first half into the early minutes of the second, but Miami is taking greater control over the last 15, 20 minutes. And a third goal for them most certainly would make them feel like they've got 3 points in the bag.
And you got to imagine, with the addition of so many veterans on this Miami FC team, that they're going to be able to manage moments like this as you're trying to see out this final 13.5 minutes, finding those situations where you can possibly take it to a corner, get a couple set pieces. You'd have to hope that, you know, it's a group that throughout this season, they're going to show that mental toughness to be able to see out games.
Also coming on is number 34, Abdelatif Abukura, replacing number 4,
Abukura and Gomez have come on. FIU Stadium in Miami. Floated ahead. Sparrow has had a man-of-the-match caliber performance. It's not decided yet. Could be in the mix.
He's stepped up every time that Loudoun has really created that chance to get back in, and he's really helped his team. And that's what you need out of your goalkeeper, is understanding moments and understanding situations where even though you give up a corner or give up a half chance afterwards, still making that save, it really helps your team build that confidence and build that mentality and that belief that they're going to see this game out.
Cagnoti helped up there. Good bit of sportsmanship. Well, we have a moment. Fans, you can follow Miami FC, Loudoun United, and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+. It's your home. The USL Championship, USL League One, MLS, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Join the more than 12 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN+. Watch the championship live every week. Sign up today. ESPNplus.com. Miami will go back to the bench. This is the 4th Miami substitution. Give Luca Antonelli a lot of credit. Surely was not expecting to give 45 or so minutes. And they're bringing on a young 19-year-old native of Kingston, Jamaica. Anglin comes on.
Yeah, really put into a spot for Antonelli that had come on a lot sooner and probably play a lot more minutes than originally expected in his debut. And you credit him and head coach Paul Dalglish on that decision, just knowing that he'd be able to manage here until the 80th minute. And you're looking at a team that has seen that ball in their defensive half a lot and has defended since the 15th minute of this game.
And what's frustrating, I would assume, Eric, is for a lot of fans, you want to see what this team is really going to play like this year. And you get the 2 goals early. You feel like you're starting to get a grip on it. And then the red card, the rest of it, sort of say, goes to the wash. So much talk over the last couple of days about making sure you don't get pinned, that you're more confrontational higher up the field, that you're aggressive, you're controlling the game. For Paul Dalglish, that was taken away from them in the 15th minute, and so they're going to get the points. That's the goal of the night. On opening night, a chance to draw level atop the Atlantic. But you will have a little bit of excitement to see a full 90 minutes of what Miami FC is trying to put out this year.
But I do believe if you're a fan and if this result holds, that you do get to see an aspect that this organization was hoping they could see with the additions, is that championship mindset and that mentality that can compete with the Rowdies and in the Atlantic Division. That's a very, very good division. And I think you can see that here. You get the 2 early goals, the unfortunate red card.
Seeking ball, Paco Craig sends it away.
And they've been so determined to get 3 points here that you've got to be pleased with that. Yeah, tactically you didn't get to see much, you know, the aggressive nature in the attack. You know, a lot of those additions, you haven't got to see that 11v11, but
good slip ball ahead! Excellent goal for Loudoun United. They could dream of a comeback now. What a goal by Khairou Mustafa. Well, now it's a true test of mentality down the stretch.
What a finish by Mustafa. So little room and a tight angle. Sends that in with his right foot and just finds that upper left corner. But that's what goal scorers do, is they just don't need a lot of space. They don't need a lot of separation. He's able to recognize that he can quickly put it on his right foot. And he beats Connor Sparrow to his far side. And exactly what you need for Loudoun. Obviously, you'd prefer the first goal coming a lot sooner, but now it comes at an opportune time where you probably have a good 10 or so minutes here to find the second goal. You've got a renewed energy. You're going to be a lot more dynamic now when you get the ball wide. and then the nerves set in with Miami FC, and we talked about that championship mentality and that mentality to finish out a match right now. Now it's going to be on display with a 1-goal lead. With time running out, you know, can you avoid that costly mistake that gives up the equalizer to Loudoun? But what a goal by Mustafa.
83rd minute, now we're into the 84th. Miami had successfully staved off Loudoun for the better part of 70 minutes. That ends here. Now Loudoun looking for an equalizer. Ball across toward Mustafa. Settles kindly. Lifted up, Sparrow's got it. Albacora had that sit right up for him and may have had more time in the box than they thought.
And that's what a goal does for you, is every ball wide and every service in now becomes a nervous moment for Miami FC.
Issued by the referee to Miami FC's number 21, Adonijah Reed.
Adonijah Reed was just shown a yellow, by the way. Mustafa grabbed the goal in the 83rd, his first of the season here in game number 1 for Loudoun. McFarland took that all the way to the end, wins Miami corner, and after all the time you spent down a man, and even with the subs you've been able to make, take your time.
Yeah, this is not the moment that you want to be jogging over and sprinting over to get a service in, and I would be shocked if the ball gets inside the 18-yard box and it doesn't go short. You can see Reed approaching it already.
Anglin. It's a throw for Loudoun.
Again, just get numbers back behind the ball if you're Miami.
Spoke with a lot of college coaches about the extended preseason. They said, we've never had this much time to work on man up, man down system. Ball across, there's the save, down to his knees. Sparrow is livid, and Sergei unable to score an equalizer. Goodness me, 4 minutes in stoppage. Loudoun is knocking on the door. They're pounding on it.
That might be the moment that Miami FC will go back to, and a save that Connor Sparrow had to make.
Service, header to the back post, comes out the other side. Here's Reed. And there's a couple of players who collided in the air.
Miami's just had to deal with so many services tonight. In so many various different areas and various ways of having to defend it, and you have two of their defenders collide. Got to use these moments to regroup. Talk about the game plan.
Well, I think we heard the Loudoun bench. I think everyone in our profession in the soccer world wants to have fans back, but there are certain moments where hearing everything is a unique experience worth having. Ryan Martin has done a great job keeping the confidence among these oftentimes younger players, just getting their first taste of the pro game with such exceptional skill, developing them into guys that could have long, productive futures, both for DC United and beyond. They've always played an energetic brand. And right now, he's trying to get Loudoun a point. A draw from the jaws of defeat, as it may be. 2 minutes and stoppage to go. Both teams are out of substitution windows. Bakura Flicked ahead, Gabera. Gabera crossing, Sparrow got a piece and now cleared away. Paco Craig launched that into orbit.
And those are going to be the turnovers that you want to stay away from if you're Miami, because your team is committed to getting big and going into the attack.
Coup de Pietro got the cross away. Skied up, came off of Bolivar, and now a shot. Rings off from Abukora. Reed plays Walker. Didn't quite get it there. Attack continues. 90th minute. All the momentum with Loudoun United. The sheer exhaustion of this 75-minute stint without a player catching up to Miami late in this game. Floated away by Anglin. Service toward Bolivar. Turned over Reed. Reed running with Walker. It's 2v1. Reed slows it down enough. Reed went down. Remarkably not a foul.
Yeah, it looked like the Loudoun players went right through the back of Reed. And in those moments, in those transition moments, if you're Reed, you're really trying to read the play and see if you can spring Walker into the open space available, but it just didn't develop that way. And then he made the decision to continue his run on the dribble and then try to take into a corner, draw a foul, and he just didn't get the call. And here he gets it at midfield.
Stoppage time brought to you by the Miami FC Youth Academy. Want to join the Miami FC Youth Academy? Visit miamifc.com/academy to register to the only academy in Miami connected to a professional team. Well worked. Walker's made an error. Oh, come on. The problem if you're Walker here, and that didn't even get over the line, you've picked up a yellow card unnecessarily. That probably won't hurt you on the day, but you know referees are keeping track of this, and that extra 10 seconds that you think you've cleaned is probably going to count for 25 later.
Exactly. You just added time to the game, and you gave yourself a yellow card. All eyes were on you.
Ball through, here comes Walker again. Walker this time. Full head of steam. It's a free kick. It's quickly taken by Akwe, whose own goal right now looms large. That stands as the game winner for Miami FC. 4 minutes, probably a bit more, remain.
And for Walker, it's that tough in between where you want to be that outlet for the attack and be able to take it to a corner, but you also know your team needs you to get behind the ball and help defend because you're a player down.
Bolivar. 4 goals in the Venezuelan First Division for Giovanni Bolivar. 2 years as a professional. They think he's got the tools to be a part of the DC United side in years to come. His debut with the franchise in Loudoun.
Keep your 3 together, lads.
And you have to be excited about the combination of Bolivar and Mustafa. 2 dangerous attacking threats that really read space well and recognize their strengths on and off the ball.
Mel did well there.
Come on, Lamar!
Halfway through stoppage. 31 shots by Loudoun tonight. Would a 32nd be their second goal? Bolivar can't get that any further. Paco Craig stopped it. Picked up by Gomez.
3, guys. Less than 3. Yeah,
Those are the shots that Miami FC will be pleased to see there at the end. Sails over and gives them the opportunity to possibly see another 30 seconds come off the clock. And I think when you see those minutes tick away, if you're Loudoun, you tend to press, you tend to find moments that you hadn't looked at before throughout the match, and you force play a little bit.
Floated back. Ramon Martin Del Campo. If Miami can see this out, they'll feel like they learned something about themselves tonight. Hakinyoti's saying, I can't throw the ball.
He can throw one hand. I've seen one-handed players play. There's the girl from Orlando.
They will go as slow as possible in those moments. Hakinyoti had no intention of throwing that ball in.
Come on, Nice, we need you. Come on, Nice. We need you, go. Come on, move it. Drive. Continue, go. Continue, go.
Driving forward. Ball splitting through. Chance for Loudoun. Sparrow out. He smothered it. 1 minute to go. A massive intervention by Connor Sparrow.
And how good has Connor Sparrow been in these difficult moments? It's really nervous in that 18-yard box, but Connor Sparrow is right there to clean up the mess.
Now Mustafa was looking for a second here tonight. Reed.
Up.
Time is running short for Loudoun. Anglin got it wide. Akinyoti. Walker dancing, recovered. Can Miami hold on to this for just a little bit longer? Caught at the line. We're at 6 minutes on the nose. And there's the full-time whistle. What an effort tonight. 82 minutes down a man. And Miami FC, 2 early goals inside the first 10 minutes. Hang on, in an inspired, mentality-driven performance, 3 points. And Connor Sparrow, magnificent, is the Helbiz man of the match.
Just came up big, moment after moment. Knew what his team needed, whether it was set pieces, wide play, shots from distance. Connor Sparrow was there to answer the call. Unbelievable job.
Paco Craig returns to the USL Championship, scores. Got Miami on the board in the 6th minute, and Connor Sparrow did the rest. Our post game, including highlights when we return.
But now, to move forward, to start running again, we have to change. We need to learn to be smarter and lighter, to reach each other in the distance. We will move, run, and ride. But we need to decide how. Because our choices can change everything. We are choosing a new era.
Wasn't always pretty, but you can see Marlins Park in downtown Miami in the distance. Miami FC does the city proud. Took a lot of effort down the stretch, a red card in the 14th minute, but they win this one 2-1 to open the season with 3 points against Loudoun United. With Eric Dobransky, Mike Watts, let's take a look at our full-time highlights brought to you by Hellbiz. 6th minute, Paco Craig, welcome to Miami.
And really for Miami, the start that they desired both on the season and in the game. And, you know, looking forward, it was really the start that held them to held them to get the 3 points tonight, because the unfortunate red card would come soon after this. But that second chance, that second service by Martinez to find Paco Craig, and then you knew that Miami was going to come out and press Loudoun right away, and then you could see it benefit right here. They just were never able to get comfortable building out of the back, and you can see the awkward play backwards by Akwe, and then you go up 2-0 in 7 minutes. Again, for Loudoun, this is where those moments start to add up, where you end up losing by 1, and you look at some of these opportunities that you created with set pieces and wide play, and you just wish you could have found the back of the net with one of them, because the finish by Mustafa was fantastic. And then the casual defending, here towards the end of the second half, it's kind of strange moments for Loudoun.
Ahead to the 83rd minute, and a few giveaways from Miami trying to hold on to the advantage. Left the door open because Mustafa drills this top bin. Suddenly it's a 1-goal game.
Made the end of this game very interesting, and everything inside the 18 became very nervous.
And in the end, despite 34 Loudoun United shots, 34, Miami holds on.
Having to defend for that long, Miami FC is going to look at a week of recovery until their next matchup on May 8th when they host Hartford. They definitely put in the work tonight, and you said it wasn't pretty, but 3 points has got to feel good for this Miami FC team that wants to compete in the Atlantic.
And that Atlantic division now sees Miami join Tampa Bay and Hartford on 3 points each. And so it'll be a battle for first next time Miami takes the field. Mustafa scores a late stunner, but it's Miami FC who carry the day, 2-1 in their season opener at FIU Stadium. For our entire Vista WorldLink crew in Dania Beach, Florida, Eric Dobransky alongside Mike Watts saying thanks for watching. Miami FC off and running, 2-1 winners. Have a good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.